Hello and welcome to another webinar presented by Magnetism Solutions. Today we'll be covering the Microsoft Power Platform AI Builders feature of form processing. But before I do, I'd like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Simon Rowe and I'm a functional consultant here at Magnetism Solutions. One of our values here in Magnetism is to have excellence through mastery, meaning we like to stay on top of features such as form processing so that when we provide service to our clients, it's at the best state possible. So today's webinar will give you an overview of what form processing can do and how it can be utilized to enhance your business processes. So what is form processing? Form processing is a feature within the Microsoft Power Platform's AI Builder that lets you create a model to read and extract information automatically from standard documents such as invoices or tax documents. So in a fast-paced world we live in today, you don't want your employees being stuck being doing admin work such as manually processing these forms. So this is where form processing can kick in and assist with the workload. So today we'll be taking an example of the process of getting a bank loan with one of the essential documents being a monthly expense list. And here we can take a look at the current process without the assistance of AI Builder's form processing. So first up, the form is sent to the customer to fill out. This is usually done through an email as a PDF, and then the customer fills out the form, sends it back to the lender that has sent the form. Then the lender has to manually input the information back into the system where they process the loan application, and this is most of the time where errors could occur and further create more admin time when they have to fix it up later. And when that all that information is in the system, they can go ahead with the approval process of the loan application. So from here we can see that the current process is quite inefficient, especially in this part here where the lender has to manually input the information back into the system. Creates a lot of admin work that the lender has to do and is not very efficiently using their time, where they could be spending their time creating more value for the business, such as processing more loan applications or talking over some discussion points about the loan with their customers. So now we can take a look at how form processing can enhance this process. First few steps are quite similar. The form would be sent to the customer to fill out. The customer then fills out the form and returns it back to the lender. The key difference is in the third step, where form processing will kick in and extract the key information from the form automatically. Doesn't need a manual intervention by the lender to have to manually do anything with the form. And all they need to do is in the last step of going through with the approval process with the loan application. So from here we can see that the lender can focus on what's important, which in this case would be spending time with the customer or processing the loan application, and not have to worry about administrative work. In this case would be manually having to input the data back into the system. So now we can take a look at some of the benefits that you can expect from using form processing. First up, as mentioned many times already, it will automate the admin work for you. Form processing will do all the processing of forms, especially if your business is in the same nature of such as like a lending business, and you have to process a lot of forms during the day. This will lessen a lot of the admin time that your employees or yourself will be spending, and as it will be all done automatically. Secondly, there is less room for error, as mentioned in the previous improved process. If a model is trained to do this automatically, there is no requirement for a human agent to intervene, and that is usually when errors occur when A human agent has to process many of these applications throughout the day. They might sometimes miss out on a field or something like that. Creates more admin time in the future when you have to chase up for more information or have to amend the mistakes that have been made. Thirdly, customer satisfaction. Less admin time equals to more time with customers. And yeah, lenders can spend more time on where it matters the most with their customers. And lastly, with all Microsoft Power Platform features, it's easy to build. No coding is required. All you need to do is train the model with 5 completed example of the documents that you wish your model to be trained on, and it will just read and extract information based on the values you set within the AI Builder form processing. So now we can go and take a look at a real world scenario. So today we'll be covering how if a form is uploaded into the SharePoint folder that you have selected, then it will trigger a flow for it to trigger the form processing to see that there was a document uploaded within the SharePoint folder. Then it will extract the key information on the form based on the fields that you have set your form processing to extract from the form. And then it will send that information and create a new record within your Dynamics environment. And I've created like a new table named expense list where it will auto populate all those fields that it has extracted within the form. So what the form looks like is like this, a very generic like first and last name, as well as all the monthly living expenses a person would incur. Yeah, so if we go and take a look and see, yep, it has already processed it. So if I just refresh this now, you can see that the one that I've uploaded is for James White, and you can see here in the active expense list that has created. So this is what a sample record would look like when the key information has been pulled and it has created a new record within your Dynamics environment, and it has copied the exact information that it needs to and populated it into the relevant fields that it needs to go to. So once that is done, what you can do is say with your usual business process, go to your loan application for James, check all the details are correct, and what you want to do is maybe link James's expense list document into your document section of your loan application. And once you believe all the details are correct and you have all the documents necessary to process the application, you can go ahead and just approve the application. And the final thing I have added within today's example is for me to send for it to trigger a flow to send an email to James confirming that his loan application has been approved. Just like this, saying, "Hi James, your loan application for vehicle loan," which in this case it was, has been approved, and just a simple message. Yeah, and that is the process for today's example. And now I'll be showing you how that is all built within AI Builder. So once you go into your environment and go in under AI Builder and click Build, you can go into form processing here and then get started. What that will do is go into what is called choose information to extract. So this section here is for you to add in all the fields that you would want your form processing to handle and extract information from the form, such as maybe like a first name, as you have seen in my form here, that you would want to extract. So I'll just say first name. Done. Next. And then here you have to upload 5 set sample documents of the form that you want your form processing to be trained on. I go new collection, click the plus sign, and in here it will just make you choose one of the three options for you to upload from. Today I'll be using from my local storage, and then select all 5 of my documents, upload, close, next. And then in the next section, all you have to do is from the fields you have created in your first step, you just need to highlight the section that it relates to. So for example, for first name, I would want to highlight Richard, and then just click first name as the field. And then you would want to go ahead and do that with all your sample documents you have uploaded. And then what this does is that it trains your model to pick up that the first name section would always be on this row here, as you would with all your forms. That if your forms are all the same, then obviously the first name section in the row would not change, so it would just automatically identify this as the first name. And then last one, and then go next. Then all you need to do is train your model, and then it would just look like the one I've already created. I've got all these different fields that are copied pretty much exactly from the form I have, with the first name, last name, and all the type of expenses. And then from then you can do like a quick test with the document you have. And what it will do is automatically extract the key information. Yeah, you can see if you just hover over it that the first name it picked up was Simon, last name it picked up was Rowe, and then yeah, you can go ahead and check that all of the expenses are correctly picked up by the form processing. And yeah, quite neat, so you don't have to manually input all this data every time that you have to process a form. And then once you have done that, the last thing you want to do is use it how your model will be used. So first up is Power Automate, which I'll be showing you today, but you can also use it within a Power Apps. So if I go into my Power Automate flow, go edit, what I can show you is that you know how I started off with when it is uploaded within a SharePoint documents folder, which in this case was in the docs, and then form processing demo, and then it will extract the key information from the forms that has been uploaded, and then all it will do is create a new record within the table of the expense list. And what you need to do as a final step is just with the relevant fields within your expense list, if I go back to it, like all these relevant fields that you have within your expense list table, you just need to match that up with the information extracted from your form processing. So for council rates, you want to match it up with the council rates value. You just go do that, yada yada yada, all the way through with all the fields that you want. And then every time a form is uploaded within your SharePoint folder, it would automatically populate all that for you within your Dynamics record, just like this, as I've shown you within my example. So yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention is that when you upload a form and there might be a mistake, say like your water bill might say it's $800 when it should have been 80, you can set up within your AI builder to pick those up and notify you. So For example, if your employee notices this, they can give a quick call to the customer to confirm that it's correct, and if it's not correct, they can just amend it within the system. So yeah, that's another neat tool that you can do within form processing or AI Builder. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to show you today. So in conclusion, I have given you an overview of what form processing is and how it can be utilized to decrease the time spent doing administration work for your business. So it's quite important for businesses today to enable your employees to spend their time on things that will create the most value for the business, and all these small admin work should be done automatically, and there are neat systems within AI Builder that you can do so, especially for a business like the lending business where they would be processing a lot of these forms every day. Not maybe not yourself, but all your employees. If it can save them even like 30 minutes to an hour a day where they can spend with their clients or processing loan applications instead. So yeah, give form processing a go, and if you have any further questions or queries when you're building one yourself, don't hesitate to get in touch with us here at Magnetism Solutions. Thank you.